Welcome to the Case Study Learning Series in International Business by SkilledMBA. Today's case centers around the Copenhagen Merchants Group and their strategic response to the European Union's farm-to-fork strategy, a central pillar of the EU Green Deal. This case provides a deep dive into the alignment of private enterprise with public policy in the face of global crises. From food security and trade to agricultural transformation, we'll explore how a major grain trading group must reposition itself in a rapidly changing landscape. Let's begin by understanding the context that pushed the EU to reshape its food strategy. In 2022, the global food system was rocked by multiple shocks. The war in Ukraine disrupted grain supplies from one of the world's top agricultural exporters. This conflict had a domino effect, impairing access to essential inputs like fertilizers, which are crucial for high-yield farming. The result? Spiraling food prices across the globe. Both developed and developing nations experienced growing food insecurity. These circumstances laid bare the vulnerabilities of the global food chain and gave new urgency to the EU's push for resilience and sustainability through its farm-to-fork strategy. The European Green Deal, launched in 2019, provides the broader policy framework under which farm-to-fork operates. It emphasizes resource efficiency, urging all sectors to reduce waste and maximize outputs through circular economic principles. At the same time, it supports economic competitiveness by promoting sustainable innovation. Finally, it calls for modernization across agriculture and industry, including digital transformation. This strategy isn't just about being green. It's about redefining how Europe grows, processes, distributes, and consumes food in a way that meets long-term sustainability goals. The Farm-to-Fork strategy, or F2F, operationalizes the Green Deal in the agri-food sector. It spans the entire food chain: sustainable production, promoting eco-friendly farming; sustainable processing, reducing emissions during manufacturing; sustainable distribution, shifting toward lower-impact logistics; sustainable consumption, encouraging healthier diets and food choices. This comprehensive strategy is designed to tackle environmental harm while also enhancing food quality and public health. The Copenhagen Merchants Group, as a major player in agri-commodities, must understand how each link in this chain affects its operations. A key component of F2F is the sharp reduction in harmful chemical use. The strategy mandates a 50% reduction in pesticide usage, 20% less chemical fertilizer application, and a 50% cut in antimicrobial use in livestock. These aggressive targets are designed to limit environmental damage and improve soil, water, and biodiversity outcomes. However, such reductions may also reduce yields in the short term, affecting supply chains and price dynamics. Merchants and traders need to anticipate these impacts and shift their procurement models accordingly. One of the EU's most ambitious goals is to ensure that 25% of farmland is under organic production by 2030. This is supported by subsidies for farmers making the transition, stricter certification standards, and public campaigns to raise consumer awareness. Organic farming typically requires more land per unit of output, which could stress supply chains, but it also presents new premium product opportunities. Copenhagen merchants must decide whether to deepen engagement with organic producers and help scale this growing market segment. Another F2F goal is ecological revitalization. Reducing chemical use supports insect population recovery, including crucial pollinators like bees. Restored water systems help clean aquatic ecosystems, and enhanced plant diversity builds long-term resilience into crop systems. For traders, this presents an opportunity to source from more diversified crops, but it also means navigating more fragmented, less monoculture-dominated landscapes. Copenhagen merchants will need to revise sourcing strategies to align with environmental goals while maintaining volume reliability. Let's take a closer look at the company in focus. Copenhagen Merchants Group is a global grain trader with operations spanning continents. It's known for its expertise in agricultural shipping logistics, close relationships with both farmers and processors and its keen eye for market analysis. As a midstream player, it connects primary producers with food manufacturers and distributors. That makes its role central in adapting to F2F reforms. As production norms and market demands shift, CMG must stay agile. With the F2F strategy in effect, agricultural yields are expected to dip in the short term. Projections indicate reductions in crop outputs due to the decreased use of synthetic fertilizers and pesticides. These supply constraints will be felt across the value chain. For a firm like Copenhagen Merchants, this means sourcing may become more volatile, requiring diversification of supplier relationships and a shift toward value-added trading rather than bulk volume strategies. The price implications of the F2F strategy are significant. Cereals could see a 15-25% increase. Vegetables may rise by 10-20%. Fruits are projected to increase 5-15%. Animal products, impacted by both feed cost and welfare reforms, may surge 20-30%. These price shifts not only influence trade margins, they also alter consumption patterns and policy debates. Merchants need to prepare for increased price sensitivity among buyers and the possibility of demand substitution in key categories. Europe currently relies heavily on imported soybeans, particularly from South America. This creates sustainability and carbon footprint concerns. F2F seeks to address this by promoting local protein crop production, such as legumes and pulses, through targeted subsidies and technical assistance. For Copenhagen merchants, this shift presents both a risk and an opportunity. Import businesses tied to South American supply may be disrupted, but there's potential to help develop a new domestic protein trade network in Europe. Animal welfare is another pillar of F2F. The EU is moving to phase out cages, enforce stricter transport standards, improve slaughterhouse conditions, and enhance transparency through clearer labeling. These changes will likely raise production costs, but could also justify premium pricing. CMG must assess how these reforms affect its animal-based product clients and whether to reposition toward higher welfare product lines with differentiated branding. F2F changes will reshape global trade. The EU is expected to import fewer products with poor sustainability profiles, especially from regions with deforestation-linked crops. Meanwhile, European exports may command premium prices if they meet elevated standards. Trade agreements may be rewritten to include environmental clauses. For CMG, this means both renegotiating terms with existing partners and scouting new markets where sustainability is prioritized. F2F is a balancing act. Environmental protection is the headline goal, but it must coexist with food security, economic viability for farmers, and social sustainability in rural areas. Achieving all these simultaneously is complex. Copenhagen merchants must navigate these trade-offs carefully, ensuring they align with EU policy without compromising their business fundamentals. The path forward demands adaptation. CMG must revisit its sourcing models, expand into organic and alternative protein markets, and develop new logistics capabilities to handle fragmented, decentralized food systems. It must also refine its policy intelligence, staying ahead of regulatory shifts. Ultimately, the EU's farm-to-fork strategy is reshaping the entire food ecosystem, and only those companies that evolve in tandem will thrive. Thank you for watching the Case Study Learning Series in International Business by SkilledMBA.